By 2050, we'll need to feed 2 billion more people. However, there are now about 805 million people undernourished. It kills more people than AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis combined. At the same time, the new face of hunger is starting to reveal. The vast majority of the world's malnourished people live in the richest countries on Earth. Also, how can we prevent the food crisis, feed 9.6 billion people in 2050 without overwhelming our planet?
There are daily life solutions such as the leftovers could be used for fertilizers for growing crops again. However, this is more concerned about the environmental and waste issues. It's not really effective for the global food crisis.
Another solution is food aid, yet many organizations have begun to view this process as inefficient and counterproductive. Aid also affects the dependence of a country as it overwhelms local markets and drives down prices.
Pests and weed killer plants by inserting disease and toxins, which is harmful to plants. If farmers don't prevent them, this will cause food shortage. Scientists have recently introduced a soft bacterium called Bacillus thuringiensis, or called Bt. The bacterium produces a protein called Bt toxin that is toxic to various herbivorous insects. The toxin is inactive in its crystallized form, but when consumed by insects, it is converted to an active and toxic form. This is safe for humans as it is completely natural and safe. So the farmers don't have to use weed killer or pesticide anymore. Research shows that at least 90% of the soy, cotton, and corn sold in the United States have been genetically engineered.
Flood or drought-tolerant plants are one of the ways to improve the food shortage crisis in the world. They can help to stop the drought or flood. For flood-tolerant plants, there is a new strain of rice called IL64sub1. It is seen in an aquarium in ILRI at Philippines. It can also survive for 2 weeks underwater. It will help improve farmers in lower-lying region of Asia, where 50 million acres of rice were destroyed by flood every year. Rice, wheat, and other plants use a type of C3 photosynthesis. The 3-carbon compound will be produced when they absorb sunlight. Corn, sugarcane, and other plants use the C4 photosynthesis. For drought-tolerant plants, tomatoes are an example. Tomatoes are typically grown in hot, dry climate with more than 13 gallons of irrigation water per tomato on average. To create a less thirsty type of tomato, scientists are trying to cross tomato plants with a wild relative from one of the driest places on Earth, Peru's Atacama Desert.
Biofuels are renewable fuels made by animal, food, and sometimes seed oil to produce ethanol.
IFPRI estimated there are around 30% increased food price, but World Bank said that there are around 75% increase. However, this may lead to people starving. World Bank president said that there are around 100 million people affected by this, especially the people who has low income and spend most of their money on food due to the food price. As there are more biofuels, there will be less food produced for people to eat. Biofuels will affect the food price and also food shortage. That's why we have to slow down the promotion of biofuels.
Satellites are very useful because it can measure energy intensities from everything. There are 2 main types of satellite-based drought indicators,
which are the Vegetation Drought Response Index and the Vegetation Health Index. The VEG-DRI provides information on the influence of drought. The VEG-DRI calculations combine observations of vegetation conditions with data and other information, such as the ecological setting and land cover. The VHI is produced from the NOAA. The images and data reflects the average conditions in 7 days. Satellite monitors that can predict droughts also increases the efficiency of food aid, so the problem of hunger could be minimized.
How do we prevent the food crisis to feed 9.6 billion people in 2050 without overwhelming our planet? There are a few solutions such as converting food waste to fertilizer and food aid, yet they are not as counterproductive.
We've explored some more ways to prevent the crisis. First, we can slow down promotion of biofuels as it worsens the food price and the hunger situation. We can also genetically modify plants, so it is not only resistant to pests and weed killers, but also to drought and flood. Drought indicator and satellite-based monitors can be made to increase the efficiency of sending food aid. Lastly, we should have a healthy diet and minimize the demand of meat, as the crops are usually given to animals.